tell a story about Yuri.
Okay.
If you want.
Yeah. Let's get Jessica talking.
Just don't say he's in Cambridge.
Right.
Oh, it's fine. We welcome all. Yeah, so this was an anniversary gift last year, and it stopped recently, and then also the thing broke, so I have to take it to a place in Boston. There's this guy I love going to, it's a hole-in-the-wall place in, like, Chinatown.
The watch guy.
The watch guy, yeah, and it's like when you feel like, you know, something's odd and missing, I still have to wear it.
Yeah.
It's been like a month.
That's how I
I'm
do that.
just lazy. It's just like getting into Boston is,
Yeah.
Yes.
it's a thing.
It's a thing.
It's a commitment.
Yeah. My watch needs a battery too. I just don't wear it.
Right. I do what Erica does. I wear it because I feel
Right.
lost without it.
Right.
But then it drives me crazy because
But
I'm
people
looking at
often,
it
you're
going,
like, oh,
People
but
often
it's
are like,
not.
oh, I love your watch, but it doesn't work.
For everything.
Huh? Forever, yeah.
Yeah, I was sneaking a casual glance, like, oh, what time is it? Anything else good? Wait, how's Blue?
Oh, he's great. I mean, he's like,
He has a gray cat too.
Yeah.
Who saved her life in a fire.
did.
Really?
Seriously.
Yeah, he woke
Yeah.
me up. And then,
Told-
like, my apartment was burning down.
Yeah.
I know, very dramatic before we go on
Yes.
air.
But that's also amazing that a
Seriously.
cat did that because usually they run and hide.
Yeah.
He was,
But he wanted to save you first. And
yeah.
did he run and hide? Did you have to go find him?
No, he
grabbed
was
him
like
and they
next to me, like meowing.
Wow.
Yeah.
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 1 minute.
I know. I
Yeah.
know. He's a sweet boy, and so
He's a very special cat.
so twice a day though I have to give him a pill for his hyperthyroid.
Oh.
You know, the woes of
Cat.
pet ownership.
Can you? No. I've.
Well, you should. Well, my cat did
But I just got like an auto
You'll
time
tell
feeder, or like a like every like 6 or whatever increments of
Yeah.
time, and then it'll pop out treats. So I'm playing around with that.
Do you have to shove it down his throat, or can you hide it in
No,
something
it's like
and
pill
he'll?
pocket, and then sometimes he just eats it with the pill pocket. Some days I have to sandwich the pill pocket between 2 treats.
Yep.
Some days he eats around all of it.
Yep.
And I have to shove it in there.
Isn't
so
it
Vanessa's
amazing?
gotten to the art of shoving it in his mouth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's like terrified by
Right
it.
on set
Okay.
in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3.
Hello and welcome to another live LunchCast here. My name is Erica Jones and I work at Somerville Media Center, and we are all really excited to be celebrating Community Media Week, which started off this past Sunday, October 20th, and continues on until October 27th. And this year we are focusing on basically coordinating a series of different events, all built around a fundraising drive, really just emphasizing and elevating the visibility of locally made media here in Somerville and all of the great programs and events and partnerships and resources that come out of our facility here right in Union Square. And as you all know, hopefully out there watching, Somerville Media Center is community-made content. The voices expressed in SMC are authentic, and we strive to really, really pump that up throughout the daily broadcasts on Boston Free Radio, on Scat TV, on our podcasts, and they truly reflect the community from which they emanate. And that is something really unique and special that you don't often see in mainstream media, and something that we really take a lot of pride in here. And to this point, we cannot do it alone, and we have a really vast, deep network of community partnerships that have been built and fostered over the years, because we have been around for close to 40 years, and to that point, we have had extensive amounts of relationships with local nonprofits, businesses, institutions, and schools and city agencies. And we just really grow more from those types of deep relationships and help to be a better resource serving our community here. from some of those partnerships, we collaborate on low-cost production services, whether it's for maybe a nonprofit gala event. We collaborate with city agencies on youth media partnerships, with the public library on digital literacy trainings, events, and a lot of other different ways. So as you can tell, we really try to be a source of relevance and resource, and we hope that you all feel the same way. And we're happy to be joining the studio today to talk with some of our community partners here. And we are here joined with Andrea Shapiro, the CEO of Second Chances. Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
Yes, absolutely. And Jessica Callaghan, the program coordinator at Second Chances.
Thanks, Erica.
Yeah, absolutely. I've known Andrea for, I think, since I started here about 7 years ago. We became friends and colleagues early on, and a lot of great work that goes on at Second Chances, and we've gotten to collaborate over the years together. But for those who might not know about Second Chances, what is this organization? What is the work that you're doing out there?
Sure. We have been, for 15 years now, we've been providing free clothing to folks who are homeless and low income, who are using services in Somerville and Cambridge. And we provide free clothing, shoes, accessories, and gift cards to men, women, and children for the full variety of needs that folks have. So everything from going to school, going to work, to just everyday wear.
Right.
And so we're one of those unusual organizations that really does the full range of clothing provision for folks in need. By
Well,
giving
like basic needs
Yes.
that these are like right.
basic needs
Yeah.
and needs for a job interview,
Right,
or needs
right.
for school, or for a court date, or the whole variety of things that people
Right.
have going on in their lives. So,
Yeah.
and by giving folks free clothing, we're, as a community, we're saying to them, we care about you, we want to protect you and keep you warm or cool, and we want to make sure that you present your best self when you go forth into the world.
That's so huge.
Yeah, so it's a big thing that we can do together as a community to support folks in
Right.
our community who need us. So
Right.
we have supported about 3,500 folks in our community since we started 15 years ago.
Wow.
And we've recycled and reused well over 1.5 million pounds of clothing and accessories that we've gotten through donations from community members. So
That's incredible.
I want to thank our community, because this
Yeah.
really is a community effort. In the same way your work is creating
Yeah.
content and educating folks and sharing information, our work is really very much a collective community effort.
Yeah.
So I want
It takes a village, and that's something special. Just to speak to like the Somerville nonprofit like network that exists here. Everybody, however possible, they try to support one another, whether it's through cross-sharing information about certain events that are coming up, or volunteering, or just trying to be a resource. So when you had mentioned the collecting of the clothes, how do you go about that?
We get our clothing a variety of ways. Some we get directly from clothing manufacturers and suppliers, so we get them from retailers and retail brands.
Right.
That's usually new clothing or samples. Some we get from donations of used clothing that come from community members, and we get those two different ways. One is through clothing drives, and we have one going on right now in Davis Square at the Rockland Trust branch that's in Davis Square through the
Okay.
end of October. And we also have these outdoor clothing donation bins that people can donate at almost any time, and those you can find on our website.
And they have artwork on them as well. Some
Great
of them, right?
artwork
Yeah.
that we're really proud of, and you can find those on our website at www.secondchances.org. And so
Great.
you're welcome to donate there. We're also really looking for a Somerville donation location, and we don't have one currently. We've had a couple in the past, but we are looking for one or more in Somerville. So if there are any local businesses or apartment buildings or places that are interested in creating an opportunity for folks to not only support other community members, but to recycle and reuse textiles in our community, which
Right.
is another big part of the work that we do. We'd love to talk with you, so please get in touch. And I just want to say a few words about our relationship with Somerville Media Center and how that came
Yeah.
to be, because it's a real story of community also, and it's been a really successful one. About 7 years ago, maybe 6 years ago, a group of nonprofits, including Somerville Community Media, got together and we put on a telethon.
Right.
And it was a great...
Sort of Giving Tuesday.
It was a great learning experience. It was a fundraising event that we all did together, and we worked together for a pretty long time to come up with the concept and to implement it, and it was a lot of fun, and we built some terrific relationships. It was during the last recession, and so fundraising for all of us was challenging, and it was great to really get the community involved in hearing our stories and in learning more about the organizations and just in working together on a project. And it's something that has continued in the sense that we have done other things for, as far as fundraising goes, and we've also worked together on other projects.
Right.
We found our office space as a result of that. We're in a shared
Just down the
nonprofit
street?
space just down the street, and that was something we hadn't had in our first, we just moved in 2 years ago, so we hadn't had office space for a really long time.
That's so great.
And that enabled us to grow,
Right.
and that's how we were able to hire Jessica. So
Yeah.
I want to introduce Jessica and have her
Absolutely.
say a few words about the relationships that she's building within our community, which
Yeah.
has been terrific.
Please do, and also just like I'm always like moved by the stories, and if you want to speak to those who have been really impacted by the work that Second Chances does, that would be great.
Sure, sure. My primary role is really to coordinate with our community partners, those who are serving people in our community who are in need, basic needs, as you had put it, and taking that burden from them so that they can focus on the services that they are providing. So whether it's housing, jobs, counseling and all types of areas, and then they can reach out to us, let us know what the needs are of their clients, and then we try to fulfill those needs with the clothing items, accessories, shoes, for whatever it might be, and coordinating with them and finding out what they need.
Right, and that makes sense to have a deeper impact by learning like what are the needs of the people who you're serving. Right.
Yeah.
Do you want to speak to any of like the people who you are like serving in terms of them maybe sharing like, wow, like without this like step forward or this type of like partnership with Second Chances, this wouldn't have happened?
Sure, yeah. I mean, we are working with community partners who are serving a variety of people in need. So we are, helping to supply some of the homeless shelters so that they have clothing when their folks come in and they need it. Some domestic violence shelters and services, which oftentimes, they're in need of something quite quickly. And then individuals with different programs that we coordinate with. And with the individuals, we'll get a description of exactly what it is they need the clothing for, and then what they might need. And so, whether it's, a younger person who's, in school, a child, somebody who's going out for whether it's starting a new job, all kinds of different situations. We had a recent one. It was an elderly man who is still working part-time to support himself and his wife, and was in need of some clothes as the season changes, and we were able to provide those items for him. And just hearing back from the service coordinator that's been assisting him and how helpful those items were, and making his life more comfortable so that he can focus on the other things that are important. Yeah.
It's so encouraging, and that's really great. And I just wanted to also just give an opportunity to talk about how people can continue to support Second Chances. And you mentioned 15th anniversary, so that's coming up. When is that, and how can people find out more information?
Yeah, just stay in touch with us. Get on our mailing list. We are hoping to put on an event this spring in May 2020. We'll be 15 years old.
So great. Congratulations.
And I mean, it's congratulations to all of us, because really when I say this is a community effort, we could not do any of this without our community, from getting the clothes to raising the money to having our office space to getting the word out about the work that we do. So we're grateful to you guys for being our partners, and to everyone else who has contributed. So please stay in touch, get on our mailing list. You can find it on our website at www.secondchances.org, and we would love to stay in touch with you, and we'll have more news once we have an event location and a date like that. But I think we're hoping for May 2020.
Okay, and also for those who are potentially looking to host or be the home to your next clothing bin.
Yes, home to our clothing bin, or host a clothing drive for the holidays, or for your internal company fundraising event or community outreach event. And again, get in touch with us on the website.
Awesome. Well, thank you both for coming in. And again, this is exactly what we want to do, is be able to provide platforms for people in our community, especially our nonprofit partners, to share more about the work that they're doing. So thank you both. I know I will probably see you during the holiday video greetings.
Yes.
Here soon. Awesome. All right. Well, we'll see you soon.
For having us.
Thank you.
Thank you, Erica.
Thank you.
Yay.
I'm Eddie Toussaint Totongi.
We're on or we're off?
I am the producer of Asian poetry in 3 languages. And I'm here to provide support, to give support to the community media for the tremendous work you guys you're making in the community. My program, Asian poetry in 3 languages, I'm able to reach people in the Haitian community, monolingual people who otherwise would feel isolated because of the linguistic barrier. Some of them they don't speak English, and they will address me. They will stop in the streets and say, Eddie or Totongi, you know, so and so tells a poem. One day I made reference about my mother when I was a kid. My mother reacted to a poem I wrote. I was about 7, 8. And she stopped me in the street and said, Eddie, what about these things about your mother? And well, I'm sure she'll be very proud of you today. So that's our poetry can reach people through the good work of the media, or the community media. And I will call on the powers that be to support the community media, the literary world, the school, the institution of the city, to continue, please, to support the great work of community media.
Hi, you guys. I am your host, Don Giuseppe, and I want you guys to support community media. Make sure to go check out my show, Advice from a Distance, on SCATV.
Hi everyone, my name is Joanne Barker-Rivuccio, and I am the producer of Somerville Overcoming Addiction. My show is every Monday night, and it's from 8 to 9. It's a live show. I interview a lot of people in the Recovery Network. I talk to moms that have lost their children, and this is what I want to bring to the community so they understand how family impacted addiction is. I started in 2015. I came down to become a member at Somerville Media. I had no idea what I was going to do, but I did want to do exactly what I'm doing right now, and that's to educate the community about addiction. So if you're interested in joining, please do. I mean, there's a lot of things that you could actually promote at Somerville Media. So please support this great program. Thank you.
Hello and welcome back to the additional portion here of our Lunch live cast on SCAT TV. We are focusing on community partnerships during this week as we celebrate our Community Media Week programming and fundraising drive. We've been having a lot of different opportunities for people to engage with Somerville Media Center and learn more about who we are and what we do and the impact that we have here in our community. And what better way to continue to elevate this narrative with bringing in some of our people who we work with pretty frequently here in Somerville. And these are our local nonprofit communities. We just heard from Andrea and Jessica from Second Chances, and we are joined in the studio today now with Kate Deming from Respond, the Development Engagement Coordinator. Welcome, Kate.
Thank you.
How are you doing?
Great. Excited to be here.
Me too. Kate's also on our board of directors here,
I am.
which is fantastic.
Yes. I love the Somerville community and want to be involved in it as much as I can.
You just want to live and breathe and do everything in Somerville.
I really do.
to your ease of access, you are also just diagonally across the parking lot, so it's board meetings come over here, isn't too.
It's very convenient.
So we've been partnering with Respond for the last several years, and Jessica Braden, the CEO at Respond, obviously was also on our board of directors before, and we've been working on different production services for you all in terms of educating around domestic violence awareness and in different forms of media around that. So we've really thoroughly enjoyed our collaboration because it challenges us internally as staff to utilize our professional services to elevate the voices and information on this mission that you all do such a tremendous job at spreading awareness on. What do you want to share for those who don't know what Respond is?
So Respond is actually New England's oldest domestic violence agency, second oldest in the nation. We've
Wow.
been in operation for over 46 years, which is pretty long for a domestic violence agency. We were started by 4 local Somerville women who didn't have much, but they saw a huge issue in their community and they wanted to address it. And 46 years later, here we are. So our mission is to end domestic violence. So we have an emergency shelter, which can host 8 families up to 21 individuals, and we have a 24/7 hotline operating out of the shelter. We also do work in the community. We do support groups. We do one-on-one counseling. We do education and outreach. If you're having an event and you want us there, we will be there with our information and ready to share. And we also partner with 5 police stations and with the Suffolk House of Corrections in the police stations so that we can reach out to anyone who's been involved in a domestic call within 24 hours to let them know that Respond is here. There is support. There are services for them. And then in the Suffolk House of Corrections to work with people who are incarcerated who have experienced abuse and who are also planning for re-entering society, and we want to give them options so they're not forced to go back to that abusive situation.
Wow. So your reach is it's in a lot of different areas.
It is, yes.
Very, very impactful. What are some of the I don't know if there's like a story or a story or two to share about the impact of the work that Respond is doing. Is there anything that you all sort of focus on or to use as to further and deepen the meaningful work of Respond?
Absolutely. So one part of my job is managing our social media.
Which is excellent.
Thank you.
Excellent.
I learned about Canva here.
It all began here
Yes,
at
it
Digital Literacy Class.
really did. And it's usually interfacing with supporters, but occasionally it will be with people who have received our services. So we had someone reach out over Facebook letting us know that they receive services through Respond through one of our police partnerships, and this person shared that they didn't even know that they needed Respond until someone told them about Respond. And that's the thing about these abusive situations. They can be so incredibly difficult to leave, and you might not even realize it's abuse because you love this person and you want to see the best in them. And we just really try to provide support for people no matter where they are in their abusive situation. We're not here to tell you what to do or to judge you in any way. We're just here to offer resources, support, and to help you stay as safe as you can.
Right. Yeah, I mean, just from being involved on our end, you know, we often, Somerville Media Center staff, we do get contracted to work on these, you know, professional videos, and not often are they very, like, heavy and emotional, but working on the videos over the years for you all for the gala event has just been inspiring and just so moving, and really you see that direct connection of this person who was in this situation, and then however they found you all, and whoever that point person was or point people were, like, it just totally changed their lives and allowed them to feel like unstuck, which is just you know, from a like a messaging standpoint, like, those are the, like, wow, those are those, like, moments that you just are, you know, you're kind of taken back and you forget that you're recording and you're in this, like, interview in this, you know, in their kitchen or whatever, and you are just like, this is very meaningful. So to that point, like, it's been very just resonating to learn more about the work that Respond does, and also just, you know, having conversations with you and your colleagues, and just any opportunity to educate folks on, like, these are the things that are here in Somerville, and obviously you all are serving beyond Somerville, which is incredible. For people who want to, you know, continue to support or become a new supporter of Respond, there's opportunities. I know there's the upcoming event you're doing in the spring. Do you want to talk about that?
Yes, we're having our Responding to Domestic Violence cocktail celebration in April, Friday, April 3rd. So we're really excited for that. It's going to be at the Row Hotel.
Great.
Somerville location for a Somerville agency, and it's going to be, it's an incredibly moving night. We hear from survivors primarily through the videos that you do for us, which are so incredible because it is so difficult for these people to share their stories, and the fact that they're able to do so in a supported way is key. So we're very grateful for that.
We're very grateful for that too.
So we're starting to really get underway for that event. It's there's a silent auction, a live auction. It is just a really fun night with a lot of meaning. So,
and to meet the people behind Respond and doing the work, and then all the other supporters who are also, you know, contributing to your mission as well.
Absolutely.
Are there other opportunities for people to, you know, help support along, like, ongoing, become a volunteer?
Absolutely. We really rely on our volunteers. They're the backbone of the agency, really. We couldn't do it without them. So if you go to our website, which is www.respondinc.org, there's you can learn more about our different volunteer opportunities, which range from working directly with our clients to maybe coming to a local event and sharing information about Respond. There's really a wide variety of ways to get involved. Also check out our social media on Facebook, Twitter, and Respond.
Awesome.
And Instagram.
And show love also because you are behind those social media marketing efforts.
Yes.
And they really are fantastic. I'm always looking at all the various organizational social media out there, and it's effective, I think. So
good. I hope so.
Yeah, and again, to just, like, have you in here, and again, like, Second Chances, and we have Jessica Eshleman coming in just a few moments from Union Square Main Streets. We can only be as, like, strong and as important and relevant with the, you know, support of our community partners. And I think it's constantly just challenging ourselves here and thinking, what else could we be doing more of, and serving our community through education and engagement and just visibility of issues that are going on, be it through a video at the gala or a news segment about an important press conference, or like the domestic violence awareness vigil that happened. There's just so much going on all the time here in Somerville, so we try to like continue to harness and celebrate our partnerships. So we appreciate you coming down here.
My pleasure.
Yeah, and thank you also for serving on our board of directors.
Also my pleasure.
Is there anything else you want to say to the viewers out there?
Just that October is Domestic Violence Awareness Month, so we're wrapping up. We've had a lot going on, but definitely keep your eye out on our social media for kind of our last couple weeks of Domestic Violence Awareness Month. We're sharing a lot of content, and it's a great time to get involved.
Great. Awesome. Thank you, Kate, again for coming down.
Thank you, Erica.
All right.
Hi, I'm Kirk. They call me Classic Kirk here, and I'm the host of a radio show every Monday night called Misery of Cities, where I look at old music that's sort of disappeared off the radio from 70s, 80s, and 90s. And this idea came to me because I realized listening to the radio nowadays, a lot of the artists I grew up with are gone. And it was my idea to come to Somerville Media Center and pitch the idea, and they gave me nothing but support. And I'm starting my 3rd year of this show. I love it here, and this is a great place to get your ideas off the ground, Somerville Media Center.
I think people should support community media because this is a way to really learn about what's going on right in our community. So much of media is more on a city, state, or national level, and this is the best way to really learn about programs and have discussions that are very relevant to our community right here.
Mabdino, merci, bienvenue. Nous suivons show télémagazine. On show tous les samedis de 2h à 3h et dimanche 8h, 9h pour divertir nous, informer nous. C'est un show socio-culturel qui est très intéressant pour apprendre nous, qui apprend un peu de nouvelles de ce qui se passe à Haïti. Pour nous, c'est pour amortir dans le monde. Donc nous-mêmes, nous essayons pour ton bagage qui est crédible, qui est vraiment réel et qui est véridique. Donc, merci. Dans mon cas, c'est Mario Archer. Et téléphone, c'est ça, c'est 908 98 00. Si vous avez besoin de plus d'informations sur Télémagazine. Merci.
Hello and welcome back to our 3rd guest who is joining us in the studio today for our special Scat TV Live LunchCast series that has been going on since Monday, the 21st. We've been kicking off and celebrating our Community Media Week and fundraising drive. And if you've been really enjoying what you're watching and the work that we're doing, we completely encourage you to feel compelled to maybe make a donation. And your donation of $50 could give you a custom Made in Somerville t-shirt, and then $75 or more gets you a custom Made in Somerville tote bag. Who doesn't love tote bags? I have a plethora of them in my closet. They never don't come in handy. But Somerville Media Center is really celebrating today our community partnerships that we have here in our wonderful 4 square miles, and we are highlighting some of them. We had Second Chances on, we just had Respond, and today we are now joined with Jessica Eshleman, the Executive Director of Union Square Main Streets.
Thanks for having me, Erica, and happy Community Media Week.
I know, it's been challenging ourselves to not just do it as one community media day. We wanted to be like, let's do a week-long series of events and, frame everything around this fundraising drive, so it's been a lot of fun.
Well, it makes a lot of sense since your return on those investments are really 365.
Exactly, exactly. It's
A
true.
day wouldn't do it justice.
Everyone is probably ongoing, fundraising at the heart, right? But in 2017, we got a proclamation from the city to designate October 20th as Community Media Day. So it is a locally celebrated holiday. We don't get the day off, but nonetheless, it was a cool way for the city council and the mayor to be behind this wonderful acknowledgement of Somerville Media Center. So.
Congratulations, that's really great.
Yeah, we are very thrilled, and so today we wanted to bring in some of our special guests here, and we've obviously partnered with Union Square Main Streets a lot over the years, and we value our relationship so much, and we just wanted to take an opportunity to bring Jan in and share first, like, what is Union Square Main Streets, rather, for those who might not know who are watching.
Absolutely, and thanks for having me back and our organization back.
Love it.
We do love our partnership. For anybody who doesn't know, Union Square Main Streets is the group that supports vibrancy throughout the square here in Union Square. Many people know us for the Farmers Market or Fluff Festival, which we do in partnership with the Arts Council.
Right.
But really, there's a lot going behind the scenes that's really driven at economic development, but with a special emphasis on preserving and celebrating the character of this great neighborhood.
Right, which we are all in that same mission together.
That's right, absolutely. And telling the stories of the people that make the city so great.
Right, and I think, like you mentioned, the farmers markets, and one easy sort of outreach engagement opportunity that we do a lot throughout Somerville is our, setting up our pop-up storytelling booths.
Yeah.
And we, at the heart of what we're doing in terms of our mission, it's storytelling, it's collecting and preserving this wonderful history that exists here in Somerville, and we've been around for 40 years doing that, like, mission-driven work through partnerships. But I have had so much fun over the years setting up our pop-up storytelling booth during the Union Square Farmers Market, because you all, encourage and get local nonprofits to host tables, and so part of our outreach activity was to invite people who are at the farmers markets to come over and share, why do you love Somerville? And so we have a series of different videos from the farmers markets over the years on our YouTube page, and it's really fascinating and great to hear people talk about whether they're a transplant and what they love about Somerville, or that they've been here since childhood and this is what they love about Somerville. And often the farmers market is a root connection for where people celebrate that sense of community and supporting local. And I think both of us, our organizations are very much celebrating the localism aspect.
Indeed, and creating opportunity for it. Just this morning, somebody shared with me an article in Forbes magazine where Somerville is used as a case study for excellence in city management.
Okay.
And it was forwarded to me with the particular headline of that farmers market has a really great mention in this lengthy article,
Wonderful.
which was exciting to read. But the takeaway from it that I took, at least in regards to the farmers market and framed in this article, is what Mayor Curtatone calls the bump factor. Have you heard of this?
Yeah.
Okay, so creating a space and a place where folks who may be passing each other daily on their way to and from work have a chance to be passing each other in a more leisurely pace, so you're not so hurried.
Right.
And I really think about, that's exactly what the farmers market is about. We talk about creating the community living room by inviting musicians and community groups in. But really, Somerville Community Media Center is also very much creating bump factors for people who may not be out and about as much as other neighbors as well. I just think about how connected I am to other parts of the square because of pieces that you cover. I live and work in Union Square, so I'm not always leaving, but I feel connected through your work.
Yeah, no, that's a really great point. You speak to the Forbes article. I was reading the situations of dwindling local journalism, specifically this article in New York Times, but looking at how these deliberate efforts by nonprofits and also libraries and different like collaborations to hype up and focus on the coverage of hyperlocalism, because staffing capacity issues at mainstream journalism outlets are just having a hard time like covering the things that are happening in their neighborhoods, right? And so our responsibility as a nonprofit organization is to really, have this community journalism arm that allows the coverage of the fun festivals and stuff like that, but also some of the more like serious issues that are going on.
Can I challenge an unexpected part to what you just said?
Yes.
It has nothing to do with the content, because I agree wholeheartedly. We need resources like yours in the community, again and again, I can't say it enough. But I heard you say, as a nonprofit organization, our work is too. And I want to challenge the viewer here, because I'd like to suggest, as mission-driven organizations, we are compelled. And to remind viewers that nonprofit, it's a tax status.
It's true.
It's not a business model.
True. Right.
And really, the more resources that groups like yours and mine have to invest in our mission-driven work, the greater impact that we have all the way around. So if you're considering that big gift, now's the time.
T-shirt.
And maybe if you let them know this segment compelled, I might get a tote bag.
A referral. That is, if you make a donation, we
$1,000 or more?
$1,000 or more. Jessica will get her own tote bag and T-shirt, maybe two.
Challenge on Somerville. Do you value Somerville Media Center like I do?
That is it. I like that. And you're totally correct in sort of like, reframing the perception of nonprofits. Oh, but you all can't make a profit. But it's going back into investing into the mission-driven work that you're doing, and that's 100% accurate.
You do more programs. You get greater reach. I bet somebody needs somebody needs a computer on staff that you're budgeting out a couple of years.
I'm still asking. No.
Another scholarship for the kids camp.
Right.
So any surplus would be, I know at least in my organization, reinvested in the mission. And that's what helps us thrive in the work that we do. It's amazing what you guys are able to accomplish. It makes me wonder what you could if you were able to focus even more on your mission and a little less on the fundraising.
Right. No, I mean, that's completely true. And, we look towards a lot of other inspiring models. And, in terms of our educational curriculum and our workshop offerings, we really try to make everything low cost and accessible. And if we look to, other like adult learning centers, it's, higher in the cost, and doesn't mean that the content or the value isn't like as strong, but we try to consciously always try to make sure that, access to media making and digital literacy, youth media education, and all these other, like educational spaces here are met with access, and that there's no barriers. And so donations, of course, always help support more of that reach. So
yeah, it's amazing.
I know. Well, thank you, Jessica.
Thank
you. To focus on you just for a moment here. What do you all have coming up in terms of what can you pitch?
Sure, we're always working on something.
30 seconds.
Farmers Market through November 23rd, which means for your Thanksgiving feast, you'll have time to come and shop local and get great stuff.
Excellent.
Mark your calendars December 14th for the 5th annual Winter Holiday Stroll, which we hope Somerville Media Center will participate in for a festive afternoon in the square.
Cool, wonderful. Oh my gosh, we're already planning for December.
Heck yeah, we are. There's always something happening in the city, right?
I love it. And The other plug is loyal to local.
That's absolutely right.
And then the other hashtag.
Hashtag Love Union Square. So check it out.
Which I love that.
And find us on social, of course.
Awesome. Jessica, it's always a pleasure to have you in here, and we will see you soon.
Thank you so much, Erica, and everybody at Somerville Media Center for what you do.
Yeah, and thank you. Thank you for all of your love. That was hopefully, resonating out there. $1,000 or more. Get this.
Where's my tote bag?
That was great.
Good afternoon. My name is Archer. I'm a community producer for many years here in Somerville, the media center. Media center means a lot for me, for my community, because I was able to bring them a lot of activities, music, entertainment, socio-cultural and political event that is very entertaining. I hope I've been doing that for so many years. So I hope so a lot of people appreciate the show, and also I would thanks everybody from the media center who allow us to have a show on their channels to bring for our guys, for our community, for the Asian community. And my show name Telemagazine. Telemagazine is a show that's come to every Saturday from 2 to 3 and on Sunday from 8 to 9. I believe 8 to 9 or quite 8 to 9 or 9 to 8. So you will be able to check it out if you haven't done so.
Good. 7, 8, 9, 10. So that's the camera. Okay.
Hello, hello. I know, you are just keeping on seeing my face here. This is the live LunchCast, and I'm Erica Jones with Somerville Media Center. It has been just really awesome talking to a lot of our different community partners that we have had here from over the years, sharing their stories and why they see the value in partnering with Somerville Media Center to help elevate their mission-driven work. And we are really grateful, and thank you to everyone who just came on. We're going to pivot here a little bit in the same spirit of celebrating community media as we have been all week. We're going to have a little chat with a longtime member, Mr. Walter.
Yay!
Ness.
Yeah.
Hello.
No, I never say hi, Erica. I say hi, partner.
Hello, partner.
Yeah. Let's remind myself we're partnering here.
You've been a member here for close to like 6 years, because I've been here for 7. And
I remember being a member.
You remember being a member?
That's right. Yeah.
What are some of your early fond memories?
The fact that you can actually walk through the door and nobody would say get out. That was really good. But the thing that I liked is when I first wanted to join, I wanted to use the equipment right away, and they says, we have to take this special class. It's 6, 7 people to how to use cameras. And they canceled a week before, and I would not accept a cancellation.
Wow.
So I really made it hard, and started yelling and screaming on the phone.
We've only improved our commitment to training, so.
And finally, the person running the place said, well, look, we need 6 people in order to be able to have the classroom. I said, is that all? I said, I can get 6 people. So I got friends. I even paid for their training just so I could get it done.
And that's how you started the Laughter Club, right? Was that through?
No, I was laughing before, but no, actually, I belong to the Arlington Laughter Club. So she's laughing, so I should join. I'm having too much of a good time.
I know. This is what happens.
Yeah, so really, I really enjoyed the fact that I got training, I could use the equipment, and I got help in editing, and I put a lot of different shows on, and so I had a theater group called Energy Theater.
Energy Theater, right.
And so everybody on stage was a comedian, and they were sensitive to chi energy. That's why it was called Energy Theater. And so we had a really nice time, 7 shows in 4 years. videotape them, put them on scats. So it was really, really nice to see that on TV.
And that's great because I think
Oh, thank you. I really like it.
that
when people
is
think.
that is great.
I love it when people say I
so
think because they admit it. Some people
first
say,
off, your
"I don't think."
tie is phenomenal.
This is my godfather tie.
Your tie is to not be like overlooked. That is a fantastic tie.
So let me tell you about my godfather tie.
Where did you get it?
Well, I got it from my girlfriend because
Okay.
because I did a Godfather skit, you know. We bribe politicians, but in our day, the politicians knew their job was to pass law, and our job was to be the crooks. They got rid of us. And now the politicians want to be politicians, and they also want to be crooks, and we're not there to tell them there's a difference. So the whole skit is around.
Compelling.
The whole skit is about the mafia explaining itself.
Okay.
And what happens when the government gets rid of the mafia? You would think that things will get better, but things get worse. So I wanted them to have their voice spoken. Marlon Brando.
I like that. That's cool. So I want to go back real quick to Energy Theater.
Yes.
Because I think that sort of speaks to this organic collaborative environment that sometimes is planned out because people are coming in like a group and they're getting training to work on this special production, or people just meet through being members here and then they, you know, start collaborating on a production. And we love seeing that just sort of like take off in its own like shape, which has happened.
When I walk through, I just feel the love.
I know.
It's like being a hippie again.
That is our unofficial motto. Somerville Media Center, the spiritual hippie of the community.
Oh, it's great because you have a lot of people out of Emerson that want to become filmmakers,
Right.
producers.
And you've been profiled by some of our interns
Yeah,
over
it
the
was
years because
really
they're so
great.
fascinated by you.
But I'll tell you, one of the members here that wants to be a filmmaker, he asked me, he said, I ran out of ideas, so what else I should film. Could you write me a little skit that I could film? Well, I got home and I started thinking about all these projects that I used to have and wanting to put together. So 2 weeks later, I handed him over a 100-page comedy. And
Wow.
it's been expanded now. It's 150 pages, but it's going to be published. It's called Eddie and the Playboy Geeks.
Okay.
So it's a comedy play that my first one ever. So I really, really am happy about that. So looking forward
That's
to it.
fantastic. And you,
That's because somebody said, would you like to do a little skit?
right.
And it just got expanded into a lot of
And that's what I
different
mean. You just never know, like, here how things are going to manifest or evolve, or maybe things don't work out and you move on to another project. But that's kind of the excitement.
But you have the experience. One of the things
Right.
about building up character is the environment you live in. So the idea of being over here, you actually absorb the vibrations, the sensations, the memories of all these people, and actually that helps you propel you to the next project. I think that's really amazing.
Yeah, no, we agree. You are also taking the stage this coming Sunday at our closing fundraising event, which is a comedy benefit show at the Comedy Studio.
Yeah, I just love the idea for.
You and Tina Cabral, one of our staff members here.
Actually, it's going to be Kay Bast. Tina has a lot of different personalities, and one of them is Kay Bast. So she and I are going to do an amazing skit together, and it's going to be similar to other male-female comedians being grouped.
You're the only duo. You're the lone duo performance.
Yeah,
so we're excited for that.
It's like the thing that I like about comedians is they don't have testosterone tendencies. Like male comedians, they like to fight with words. So that when you get a duel, it's like sounds like a duel, but you have people using words to entertain and make people laugh. I just love the concept.
Yeah, no, it's gonna be good.
Yeah.
Have you been over to the Comedy Studio yet?
We have checked it out. There was a woman there named Sasha. who
Yeah.
Actually,
Sasha's great. That's who we're partnering with to coordinate all this.
she is so dynamic when she stands. It's like you feel this goddess energy coming out of her. So that
Right.
was kind of impressive.
Yeah. There's quite a lineup. Obviously, you and K-Bass and 14 other Boston area comedians. We are still wanting people to get tickets. SomervilleMedia.org/comedy benefit. $20 goes to helping to support our organization, and we hope that more people will continue to get tickets. So.
Well, we look forward to becoming famous so we can actually give more benefits on behalf of community.
We'll eventually get royalties.
Well, the royal treatment is always nice.
Well, as you know, the voices that are expressed throughout Somerville Media Center, whether it's on radio or on TV or on social media, all of the work that we're doing here as staff to help support our members is really to showcase the authenticity of the Somerville voice, or just the creative community media voice. And we really appreciate you and all of the work that you've done over the years and contributing to creating a really welcoming.
You're so mesmerizing when you talk.
Yeah.
The reason why it's called a lineup is because the audience can judge who's guilty of making them laugh. That's why it's called a lineup. You know, it's like a lot of people don't know that.
Right.
Yeah. So.
Okay. That's a good little historical. What else would you tell the people out there who why they should support Somerville Media Center or just community media in general?
Well, the idea of coming in here or actually seeing people on stage or seeing them on TV, you get a chance to say to yourself, you know, can I do that? Can I actually expand my talent in other ways? So if the answer is yes, you need stimulation. You need somebody to show you that it can be done. And then you say, well, if they can do it, I should be able to do it. So that's one example. And whenever I meet people waiting for a bus, I talk to them about SCAT. In fact, I got a group of people out of Tufts University coming in here with their students.
That's right.
I got Kay Bass to be interested in showing up here, helping out. Not actually, she works here part-time.
Right.
So I promote a lot because I believe in people getting more and more exposure to different variety of things. There's nothing like live interaction. Especially when I can get a joke out of it. Like David, I never got because I like to write jokes about names. So like David, so I asked him, I said, hey, David, when you get tired, did anybody ever say to you, go lie it down? He didn't get the joke either. David and Goliath, go lie it down.
That's good.
So actually, I tried it on another David yesterday. He loved it. And he thought it was funny. But
You've got to keep a list of all the Davids you can pitch that joke to. So people want to hear more of this awesome humor. Come Sunday, 4 to 6, our benefit comedy show. But you and others is what helps to create Somerville Media Center being one of the pioneers. You know, we are the oldest community media station, and we will continue to be the trendsetter.
I have a pair of ears for this. That's why I'm a pioneer. 1 year and the other year.
Oh my gosh, Walter. It's a pleasure.
It's a pleasure.
All right, always a pleasure,
Thank you.
and we appreciate your support, okay?
Yeah, that's good. Good, I got some jokes in there.
Hi, I'm Mayor Joe Curtatone. Please join me in supporting the Somerville Media Center. The Somerville Media Center does so much to promote the arts and the values of our community, our creativity, our originality, and our diversity. The Somerville Media Center plays an important role to allow people to express themselves, to be opinionated about their local government and issues that concern us today. Thank you.
My name is Nelson Carreiro. I make a show Nossa Gente Costumes started in 1995. And the next year I make 25 years Amor for my community. Any community speak Portuguese. It's no matter Portuguese, Cabo Verde, Brazil, or whatever. The idea I'm here, I apply for my televisions, the people saw my show to contribute, give some, keep that station in air, because it very expensive, very electric, employees, buy cameras, everything is very expensive. So anyone you see me, you get chance, please make some donation for that station. That's all I want to say. Thank you very much.
Hi, I'm Peg from Somerville Homeless Coalition,
And I'm Matthew from Somerville Homeless Coalition.
and we're just grateful to Somerville Media Center for allowing us to promote our 5K road race, and it really helps us to make a big difference in our fundraising and the awareness of the community about the issues of homeless people among us. Thank you.
Thanks.
Welcome back to our live LunchCast here at Somerville Media Center. It's Community Media Week. I'm obviously not Erica Jones. I'm Dave Ortega, the programming coordinator here. And we are here with another wonderful member of ours, longtime member, Mr. Henry Parker.
Ta-da!
How are you doing?
Oh, not too bad. Another day in paradise.
Another day in paradise. So thank you for taking time out of your day off and joining us here. How are things going with you?
I can't complain.
Yeah.
Well, I give myself an ulcer. Who'd want to listen anyway? So.
How long have you been a member here?
I would say about 10 years now. It's weird. I don't consider time how long I've been here. It goes back. I signed up here the day Michael Jackson passed away.
Okay. I remember that.
Mm-hmm.
I remember that. There was some people driving around, like just yelling out Shimon. Yeah, it was a grim day.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the marker in your head for
Exactly.
when you joined.
Exactly. Yeah.
And so what was it about community media that attracted you about this place?
Let me tell you the story.
Yeah, I'm up for a good story.
I used to teach martial arts to children for the Cambridge Community, their school program. And one of the parents wanted to learn. So I said, okay, I'll teach you. So he goes, well, how much do you want? I said, no charge, because it'll ruin the vibration. So he goes, well, I'll tell you what. I said, we'll barter. He goes, well, I'll teach you how to play the guitar. He goes, well, he was affiliated with, I believe, it was either Everett or Revere, their community access station. So I said, give me a tour, show me. I took the tour, signed up here the next day.
You were hooked.
Right.
Yeah.
And because before that, I was heavily involved in still photography, and I pretty much haven't picked up a still camera at all.
Yeah. So, like, what did you have in mind when you joined?
Well, I like to give a voice to the voiceless. And my first show, I took a camera out and I filmed the African dance class. So Bill said, oh, pretty good. He goes, you must not drink coffee because you held that camera pretty steady. So I said, he goes, the dance instructor has a lot of charisma. You think you could bring him in for an interview? I said, I'll ask. So he came in, and it caught me off guard because I just got out of work.
Yeah.
And I had all my work clothes on. He goes, I said, well, Bill, who's doing the interview? He goes, oh, you are. And I was like, oh, that's right. And with that, most of my shows, I would like go to clubs to the now defunct Johnny D's or whoever else.
Yeah.
And where I know a lot of quote unquote world beat musicians, I would videotape their act, bring them into the studio, do the interview, mix the two together so they could one, translate the lyrics, and give insight into their culture and promote themselves. And it worked out beautiful.
So when you first started, your show had more of like a musical act
Yes.
type of focus, and it's shifted focus over the years, and now you're more of a talk show style format. What's your talk show about for those that have not seen Henry Parker Presents?
I like to touch on, I would say, controversial topics, things that a lot of the mainstream media won't touch. Example would be, I covered a few years ago, the march against Monsanto. They had a nationwide march, but no media coverage.
No mainstream media coverage.
No mainstream media coverage. Things like that. Because I like to give a voice to the voiceless.
Yeah, and you could say that about community media in general, is that community media centers, public access TV stations, internet radio stations like Boston Free Radio, and now podcasting, the latest technology, podcasting, and we have podcasting studios as well, enable everyday people to be able to tell their stories in this way.
I mean, I like those that actually have something to say, as long as they can back up what they're saying and don't have too much of a potty mouth.
Exactly. Yeah, we have some requirements here that you know, you can't be libelous or anything.
If I find it to be a worthwhile endeavor, fine.
Yeah, and Henry Parker Presents has been a worthwhile endeavor for you.
And I also produce a gentleman here, the CD Storm Show. He also handles like current events, a little bit of arts and entertainment for upcoming artists that need a little bit of recognition.
Yeah, so you're fostering.
Because now I'm at the point where I don't have to be in the camera. I'd rather sit back and give other people a shot.
Yeah, and I'll occasionally walk in, and you'll be at the editing, editing computer.
I like to do all my own editing, etc., from start to finish. Because if you have anybody else do it, it may not come out the way you want. You got to start doing it all over. Blah 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 blah.
Now, how much did you know about editing before you discovered it was then Scat TV and now Somerville Media Center?
Not a thing.
Not a thing.
Right.
And now you work on Final Cut Pro. And that's how you put together your TV shows that you then provide to me to put on Scat TV. So that's a pretty valuable asset. And media education is something that's very intrinsic to SMC and community media centers. Is we're not the staff. Unfortunately, we'd love to, but we're not here to produce shows for y'all. We're not here to edit shows for y'all. We're about empowerment.
A lot has to do is with the people that do their work, produce their programs here, other people in the edit suite, so you can bounce certain ideas off of them, and you just pick up a lot of stuff just by hanging out with other people. How would you do this? You can consult other people on certain shows. How does this look? Things like that. So
I love it. Community, collaboration, all of it. Yeah, so what would you say, why should people donate to Somerville Media Center during Community Media Week?
Got to keep it going. Other than that, Big Brother's going to silence you.
I couldn't have said it better. Yeah, absolutely.
That's the clean version.
That's the clean version. Exactly, that's the clean version. Yeah, so the whole point of us interrupting regularly scheduled content and coming at you with these messages all this week is to draw attention to the fact that the landscape has changed since public access was first founded back in the early 80s. We got our funding, and we still do get our funding via cable access fees. Those fees over the years have gone down as people cut the cord.
A lot of people ignore it, community access television, because you look at it this way. If you become on financial hard times, the first two things to go is your gym membership and your cable subscription.
Cable subscription.
But they don't realize, with this being community media center,
Mm-hmm.
they can skirt that and put it up, whatever they do on social media, and it has a professional look to it.
Exactly. Yeah. So yeah, we have needed to adapt to the new technologies, the streaming technologies, the social media outlets. We're on Facebook right now. So the media landscape has changed dramatically, and our funding has not changed so much. And the federal, the FCC has been maneuvering it so that, you know, on top of the less amounts that we're already getting, they want to make that even less so. So we are looking to catch up in the nonprofit landscape and look into opportunities such as this. In this case, Community Media Week as a fundraising week to draw attention to the value that community media plays.
Like I said, a lot of people let it slide by, but you have to stop and think, what do they fear? Meaning the powers that be. Because if they control everything that's being put out there, hey, I call them the deaf, the dumb, and the blind. They have no knowledge of what goes on. They just walk around. You know?
Right. Yeah, if you're just getting your information and even your entertainment from just like a few sources, it's very limiting. That set of voices is really limiting. So if you're able to expand where you get your information from and where you get your information from, and if it's locally made, all the better, you know. And that's what community media is all about as well.
And I would also say Somerville their media center is a little bit different than other stations. I had the opportunity to work out in Belmont, and I would say each city, their broadcasting is a little bit different. Like Belmont.
Everybody has their own flavor.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
What would work here may not work there.
Exactly, yeah. That's a good point. Yeah, Massachusetts is very rich. Each city and township practically has their own community access center, and you go to a different state, and that's certainly not the case because it's structured differently state by state. Massachusetts has always fostered since the beginning with the Cable Act in 1984 that created public access TV, and that evolved, that community media shot off from. Massachusetts has always been a state that fostered community media centers as the hubs for all this media education. So yeah, I think in conclusion to today's LunchCast, I would say go to our website, make a donation if you're able to. Any amount is great. We do have some lovely premiums that you can take a look at on the website. For a certain donation amount, you can get a T-shirt, and I believe that's $50 you can get a T-shirt, $75 you can get a tote bag, which is exciting. And look around the website, consider joining, consider taking a class, take a look at the live stream, listen to Boston Free Radio. It's a nice resource for everyone. Any concluding words,
You
Mr.
stole
Parker?
what I was going to say.
Yeah.
If you can't make a donation, sign up. Because if you have any creative ideas, make it happen.
Make it happen. Yeah. Thank you so much,
You're
Henry.
welcome.
Henry Parker. Look out on the schedule for Henry Parker Presents.
Okey-doke.
And we appreciate all of you tuning into our live cast. Tune in tomorrow at 12:30 for our Thursday live cast, and we'll see you then.
Ta-da.
Ta-da!
So Community Media Week is everywhere this year, like on the bus, in the subway, and if you want to take part in it, all you have to do is listen to a show. There's Boston Free Radio, Somerville News Network, or SCA TV Channel 3. And I think that's a good way